Welcome to Bookworm Dash, the home where stories from the pens of South African writers come to life. Here, you'll discover captivating Afrikaans novels, Afrikaans short stories, and English tales to enjoy while doing your daily chores or simply relaxing. Thank you for visiting us. Please give us a like and subscribe so we can continue sharing more stories and help our channel grow. We welcome your comments, positive or negative, as every bit of feedback helps us improve. All copyrights belong to the respective writers. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the story.
Her Secret Pages, written by Lia Kilian, translated from Padna Sielsvrede in Afrikaans. Chapter 1. Theo wrenched the steering wheel of his truck so violently that his driving instincts were pushed to their absolute limit, just barely avoiding flipping over.
What the hell?
He straightened up, breathing in deeply to steady his nerves. He stepped out, his hands still trembling.
Are you out of your damn mind?
But the words caught in his throat. He couldn't finish the sentence. The sight before him was enough to leave him speechless. It was clear the woman didn't seem to care a bit about what had just almost happened. How could she not have heard him coming? She stood in the middle of the road, pulled off her shoes, and gave her car's tire a kick so forceful he swore it could have sent a rugby ball flying straight through the goalposts. "Ouch! You idiot!" She began to cry, her voice a mix of frustration and confusion. "Sorry, Ditty. I know you didn't mean it. It's not your fault. Wait. Is she talking to the car?" Theo took a step closer, still dumbfounded by her odd behavior. His frustration melted away in an instant, replaced by something else entirely. He couldn't help but smile at the sight. What a character! Barefoot, in calf-length denim, and a bright translucent yellow top over a black spaghetti strap. Her dark reddish-brown hair framed her face like feathers, the wind teasing it playfully. She wore colorful beaded ankle bands that jingled with each movement, and strands of leather straps, each one a different hue, decorated her left arm like a living bracelet. A long braid of multicolored beads trailed down the side of her neck, swaying gently with each motion. What in the world? She was a sight to behold. He couldn't help himself and burst out laughing. As the laughter bubbled up, he wiped away the tears from his eyes. When he finally looked up, his gaze locked with the deepest, darkest brown eyes he'd ever seen. The intensity of her expression instantly silenced him. Her cheeks flushed, and there was a streak of dirt across her face, smudging the edges of her features. In that moment, Theo felt an overwhelming urge to hold her, to wrap her in his arms and make everything better. He just wanted to see her smile. "Are you out of your mind? Scaring the hell out of people like that?" Theo's jaw dropped, and before he could say a word, she was already back at it. "Can't you just open your mouth and say something so people know you're here?" She shot a glance at his truck. "And for God's sake, park your truck properly. It's a damn hazard where you've left it." "If I don't pull myself together..." She's absolutely nuts. He tried to ignore the rest of her rant, too taken in by the sight of her to focus. She was still waving her arms around, still berating him, her words coming fast and furious. Damn, will she ever stop talking? He just couldn't hold back anymore. He stepped forward, pulled her into his arms and kissed her, hoping to quiet her down. But it didn't go as planned. Her lips hesitated for a second, but then they softened and her body relaxed against his. Her hand found its way to his neck, pulling herself closer. Her lips felt like velvet against his. In that moment, it was as if they were floating, suspended in some dreamlike space. When he finally opened his eyes and pulled back, he was met with eyes so dark, so full of emotion, he could barely hold her gaze. Then she shoved him away. And before he could react, her palm connected with his cheek in a sharp slap. He rubbed his face, stunned.
Okay, I guess I deserved that, but damn, you couldn't just stay quiet for a second.
She stood with her fists on her hips, her eyes shooting daggers at him. He felt a flicker of discomfort and quickly pushed it down.
Look, pay attention. You're the one who's blocking the road, not me. You nearly made me flip my truck. What the hell? Why didn't you just move your car off the road?
Her expression faltered for a moment as she looked around at the situation. Her face reddened, and he couldn't help but feel an inkling of guilt. I'm sorry. I wasn't really paying attention. The road's been so quiet. Theo rubbed his cheek again, still a little stunned by the whole thing.
Can I help you change the tire now that we've gotten your car off the road?
Her eyes flashed again, a mix of something sharp and playful. What, you think I'm incapable just because I'm a woman? Theo blinked at her, momentarily lost for words.
No,
She cut him off again. I already changed the tire. This is my spare. And yes, before you say anything, I'm the stupid woman who didn't check her spare tire. A heavy sigh escaped her lips. Yeah, I messed up, but not as badly as you, kissing a complete stranger. Theo looked her over again, from head to toe. She was absolutely stunning, but it was her raw emotional range, how quickly she could switch from frustration to softness, that really struck him. He couldn't help but wonder how she was in bed. Theo, seriously, what the hell are you thinking? This one's trouble. You don't even know if she's taken, and you're way too old for this. She's probably in her 30s, and you're over the hill, nearly 52.
Where were you headed?
Theo asked. She glanced over at him, exhaustion settling into her features. To Driefontein, she answered, a frown pulling at his brow.
What for?
She stiffened for a second. It's none of your business, mister. What's your name? Theo shoved his hands into his pockets, fighting the urge to grab her again, to never let go.
Theo. And it has everything to do with me. It's my farm. Who are you?
He answered. She took a step back, catching her breath like she'd just been caught off guard. I'm Antoise. He furrowed his brow.
Antoise what?
She straightened up, suddenly a lot more guarded. You didn't give your last name, so why should I? Theo raised an eyebrow.
Well, you're headed to my farm, so I think I have a right to know who you are.
She turned back toward her little car, opened the door, and bent down. Theo couldn't help but notice the graceful curve of her backside. The next moment, she shoved the car out of gear, and the car started rolling down the hill.
What the hell, woman? I'll do it.
He rushed forward to stop her, but she was already inside, steering the little car with precision off the road and pulling the handbrake. He ran a hand through his hair. Damn, this woman's impossible. Now, can I get a lift with you? I know it's not far. I'm looking for Sophie. He stared at her, stunned once more. She was already walking barefoot, her large bag, probably her purse, in hand toward his truck. Like a rebellious teenager, she jumped into the high-riding 4x4. Theo just shook his head and walked toward his truck. He climbed in, one hand on the wheel, and watched her, silently wondering where all of this might lead.
If I may ask, why are you looking for Sophie?
She stared out the window, chin resting on her hand, silent. Theo tried to get frustrated, but found it impossible. He started the truck with a hidden grin, and the wheels kicked up dust as they drove off down the road. The beginning of an unexpected journey between them.
Not every journey begins with a plan. Some begin with a secret. What has Antoise left behind? Will she find what she's looking for? Coming soon on this channel, the full audiobook of her secret pages.